Memories that have made my life worthwhile, dedicated to my family in appreciation of their love and the happiness they have given me. The story of my life, 76 years, my lifespan so far. I do not intend to quit for a little while yet. That many years would make a pretty big book. That's what life is, a book. I have heard the remark many times, his life is an open book. My book won't be an open book. Too many things I have done that might make for good reading for only some kinds of people. Even at that, I wouldn't want anyone to know about. They might think I was a devil. I assure you, I am not. I am not an angel either, but I believe I have a good chance of getting past St. Peter. If he turns me down, it won't be that bad. I have a lot of friends down below, I'm sure. So either place I end up getting into, I won't be lonesome. I have seen a lot of the world and its people. I am proud to say that there are few people who have seen more of Canada, and especially Alberta, than I. I have crossed Canada from coast to coast more times than I can remember. I was surprised to learn, on retiring from the CPR Railroad, that I had worked at 72 different stations on the CPR at points they control in Alberta and Saskatchewan. Besides 6 places where we lived when I was not with the railway. Wherever I have hung my hat, I have been able to make friends and have had a lot of fun and pleasure. I guess that is because I like people, even though they do not always come up to my expectations. I have lived a pretty full life, rough in parts, but somehow I managed to get by. I have raised a family that I am sincerely proud of, and now they have grown up and are on their own. Only those who have raised a family can know the pleasure and happiness of raising and guiding the tiny feet from cradle to manhood and their love. I have not been blessed with wealth, thus I could not give them material things that other fathers, more fortunate, have given. My gift to them was that part of me that only a father can give: a strong body, a good brain, a sense of humor, my guidance, and my love. That has been my life. Write the story of my life? That's it. To write more will have to be incidents that I was part of and in some ways affected my life. Writing a book sounds easy. The more I think about it, the more it scares me. Have you any idea what a small percentage of people in Canada have ever written a book? It is a 0.000 something. Me? One of them? Fat chance. Mine will be true. True stories are not very interesting compared to fiction. Well, that is as it is. One thing that is to my advantage is that the ones who read my book are a very special group. I've been told that my business letters are well written and to the point. Also that my personal letters are interesting, but inclined to be long. I'm sorry. The minutes I write of a meeting leaves little to find fault with and covers well. The speeches I have written for myself and for others, when they asked me, seem to have had a good effect on the audiences. I have kept to a criterion that a speech must be informative, enlightening, some humor when required, and to the point. Judging from the attention, acclaim, and response by questioning and discussion after from gatherings I have taken part in, the compliments paid me have been heartwarming. But much is lost in writing. Much more is gained by talking. Therefore, what I write, it is my hope that you read it in the spirit it is written in, and as if I were talking to you. I must rely on my memory. That's the stuff is stored upstairs. Though everything that happens around us is recorded in our brain, only a small part of our daily lives seems to be recorded for quick recall. Something special about a person or an incident must register on our brain to make it possible to recall. It is surprising that something in the present will cause the wheels in our brain to whirl and bring back memories long forgotten which can be associated with it. Many of the good things, fun and pleasure, come readily to mind. The bad, tragic, sorrowful and frightening experiences and incidents I have managed to push to the back of my mind. It is in the past. But the good things I try to keep ever fresh in my memory. At long last, I am doing what I promised myself to do a long time ago. When the word got around that I had to go into an enforced retirement because of the buildup of a cataract on my left eye and the deterioration of the sight in my right eye due to my war wounds, everyone said, "Now you will have time to write the story of your life." The idea appealed to me, but there are other factors that must be taken into consideration. I wish now that I had continued to keep a diary. It would help so much in recording events and when they happened. But would they have been available now? Had I known what the future held in store for me, the value of those diaries, which I did keep, would have been realized as a memento of the past, which in no other way could be reproduced. I would have taken more pains in storing them so they would not have been lost, along with many of our family pictures and other keepsakes which we valued and had kept around for years. Snaps taken on Dad's homestead and at Uncle Fred's in Killam. Mine during my railroad days, the farm at Minburn, my own family growing up, and oh, so many others. I have always had a camera. The first one was a brownie I received as a prize for selling the Saturday Evening Post at 5 cents a copy. Now, 40 cents a copy, and not nearly as good as it used to be. I would have been 8 then, and I was 10 when I received my prize. I used the brownie until I went into the army. It was bulky to carry, so I bought a pocket Kodak. The snaps were smaller, but very clear. When I returned from the war, I purchased a larger, folding camera with a carrying strap. I don't remember how many cameras I have had since then. We have 3 now. One small camera for black and white, one for colored slides, and a movie camera. Each camera has been worked hard, and I spent many dollars for film, but every film was a gold mine. In the old days, and up until we moved to the farm at Minburn, I did my own developing and printing. You can imagine having to buy only film and not having to pay for finishing. 3 times as many films could be purchased, so 3 times as many snaps taken. I don't like posed pictures. The natural ones seem more real to me. Snaps taken of the unusual, comical, or embarrassing circumstances have provided many laughs and much conversation. The very few which have not been lost, along with other keepsakes like the last letter Mother wrote me before she died, the silk signal flag I had sent home to Mother for safekeeping, which I had used to send messages during the Battle of Vimy Ridge. It was shredded and torn by the explosion of a shrapnel shell overhead. The flag was out of service, and I got a piece of shrapnel in the wrist as a memento. There are many other small things in the box in the basement in our house in Bowness Road. There were many other small things in the box in the basement in our house on Bowness Road when the river flooded over its banks, and along with the backing up of the sewers. All the basements in the district were flooded. The water receded in a short time, but the box of keepsakes had been soaked and was left to dry by themselves for a few weeks. When we did open the box, all the pictures and snaps had stuck together, so that trying to separate them have left no recognizable print. The muddy water molded the pictures, and as time elapsed, the other keepsakes disappeared as well. So the picture record of 40 years of a very important period of my life is lost. I must rely on my memory. Searching my memory bank, certain incidents of my very early childhood float across my mind. To date, the time it happened, or my age at the time, the memory of my 2 older brothers is a guide. Marshall is 16 months younger than I. Earl is 23 months younger than Marshall. the clothes they wore, long baby dresses that came down to their shoe tops or short pants. Whether they talked or babbled, crawled, toddled, or walked and ran. This certainty of their age pinpoints the time for me. My age, at the time of the incidents I will be writing about, took place, will be figured according to the above guide. Stating my age may not seem to be of much importance, but I believe it is. I believe you will get more out of my memories if you will try to recall incidents in your own life at our same ages and make comparisons. It is true that we live today, plan for the future, the past is gone. But the fact is that they are linked together much closer than that. We live today because we planned for it yesterday. We all plan for a better future for ourselves and ours. Whether our plans become facts or not depends on how well we have learned our lessons in the past. I was born on November 26th, 1897. I am now entering my 77th year. Everything considered, I class myself as having had a good and fruitful life. My life has not been a bed of roses. There were the beds of thorns, too. I have had my share of ups and downs, sorrows and delights, pain and torture, hunger and plenty, poverty and wealth, success and failure, loneliness and companionship, peace and strife. I have run the gauntlet of what can happen to a man during his life. I believe I'm still the winner. What has it all led to? What have I gained? Many things. I have gained many friends. I have enjoyed their company. I have been able to help many. I have gained their respect and trust. I have learned to respect and listen, and by doing this, know that I can be wrong as well as being right. That none of us are infallible, that we can gain useful knowledge and respect by listening to the voices of children and grown-ups. That we gain far more by listening than boasting. 2, I have learned the most useful rule of all. Soft words win and angry words lose. Or, angry words gain little. But my greatest gain of all, by far, is the love of my family. Words cannot express my love for them or how much they mean to me. When I visit a hospital or see other people, some much younger than I cannot help make a comparison to myself. I have yet to find one I would change places with. What have I gained in my life? Everything. I consider myself a very, very lucky man. My life has been filled with incidents too numerous to mention, some good and some bad, and both have had some effect on my life. I have tried to put the bad ones out of my mind. It has not always been easy. Anyway, they are hard to recall at this late date. But the good ones float so clearly across my mind so fast my typewriter cannot keep up. It is these good incidents I want to tell you about. Maybe they will bring a smile, or just maybe a laugh, if I can tell it as it happened. The little imp of laughter is always there if you keep him in mind when reading these pages. As the man pulled the little lad out of the hole in the ice, he asked, "How did you come to fall in?" "I didn't come to fall in. I came to skate."